What's going on, class of 2022? For those that don't know me, have never met me, my name is Mr. Jones or Mr. T Jones or just T Jones, Coach T Jones, whatever you want to call me. I teach AP English Language. Next year will be my third year teaching AP Lang at Kip Houston High School. My fourth year teaching the course overall. Next year, I'll be teaching AP Seminar for the first time, so some of you will see me twice come fall 2020. Normally, I take pride in like doing these introductions in person, coming into your English 2 classes, but the way fate is set up and the way the universe is set up this spring, that didn't happen, so this is our reality. So Miss Erin and I wanted to take this space to get you a little bit more acclimated to what I think will be an extremely fruitful and beneficial junior year experience, which is taking AP English Language. But first, I want to tell you a little bit about me. 2020, 2021 will be my 8th year teaching overall. I've taught English in Houston ISD at Barbara Jordan High School on the north side of town. I've taught at Fort Bend ISD for 3 years at Fort Bend Thurgood Marshall in Missouri City. I've taught every level of English besides English 1, and even then I've done some tutoring for English 1 retesters for the STAR test. I've coached basketball for 4 years, including 3 at Marshall. 1 year, 2016, 2017, I helped our team make the Region 5A state championship game. We made the playoffs my first year. I've had a study of like the difference in treatment of Black NFL quarterbacks compared to white quarterbacks, published in a book by Dr. James Conyers from the University of Houston. Written for several publications, including TSU Herald, Houston Style Magazine, TSU Ball, which is an online sports website, Black Sports Online. I've created my own publications that I've written for. I have both a bachelor's and master's degree in communications from the Texas Southern University, where I graduated near the top of my class. I love good writing, and my passion is teaching young people how to be good writers. All right. So now about the class. I'm sure many of you have spoken with like several people from class of 2021, maybe some people in class of 2020. You might even be related to some of these people. But let me speak for myself as far as the course goes. AP Lang is a course that's going to require you to work harder in the subject of English than you've ever worked before. The reason being is the jump is you're going from 10th grade English to what's essentially a college class. Ms. Erin's job is to prepare you with the necessary reading and writing skills to demonstrate that you are ready to graduate high school. My job is to equip you with the necessary skills to succeed in a collegiate English classroom. So Ms. Erin and my jobs are it's a little bit different. There's a gap in what she's expecting from you, which she does a great job in, and what I will be expecting of you next year. I say that not to intimidate you, but just to frame like the reality of the situation is like you will not be expected to write at a 11th grade level. You will be expected to learn how to write at a freshman in college, a college freshman level. All right. So there's a big jump. There's a lot of content and skills to learn, but I'll get you through there. So I don't say this lightly. The skills that you learn in this class will translate to literally every part of your life, high school and beyond. AP English will be the most important class you will ever take before reaching college. Simple as that. The reason is like AP Lang is the only class by my calculation where you are actively using these skills on a day, not only on a daily basis, but literally every hour of the day that you are awake. All right. So some of those skills include things like analyzing how situations affect messages and arguments, analyzing how someone's argument affects specific audiences, constructing original arguments with appropriate evidence about complex current events and topics, and synthesizing others' arguments to support your own argument, among other skills. All right, so you will be required to practice these skills, among others, every single day, both in class and outside of class. You will be required to read complex texts on your own time and annotate those texts for specific concepts before you step foot into class. in order to be fully prepared for the next day's lesson. Failure to do so will only like put you behind other classmates, and it may force you to fall into like a hole that could be really difficult to dig yourself out of. As far as like grades and like the skills necessary, like I don't want you to fall behind because you're just not putting in the work on your own time to be prepared for class. So the things that you do before class are just as important, if not more important, than what you do in class. Every day is important in AP Lang because we're building towards something bigger that's really challenging, but ultimately worthwhile, which is not just to pass the AP exam, but to develop these skills that will make you more comfortable and more confident as a college writer. All right. So you may be wondering about what you should know before August 2020. The answer to that question is both really complex and really simple at the same time. Simple part is that you should know that we as individual regular people, as well as famous individuals like athletes, politicians, artists, activists, authors, etc., we use what's called rhetoric to inform, persuade, ridicule, criticize, and overall just convey particular messages to particular audiences. All right. If you want to use your parents' car, you need to develop some type of rhetoric that will persuade them to let you use their car, or develop some type of rhetoric to inform them on why it's important that you need to use their car. All right. Or to criticize somebody on social media. Well, you do these things every single day. The complex part of this is that you and I, as well as these famous people, we also use rhetoric to manipulate language. All right, or manipulate rhetoric to trick audiences, to disguise ourselves as authentic, to distort the truth, to enact policies that harm marginalized people, to win elections, to win money, to exert privilege, to call for change, to exploit what needs to be changed. We use rhetoric for all these different things. So it's our job to analyze not just rhetoric itself, but the effect that rhetoric can have on the world. And then it's our responsibility to make arguments for or against some real world impactful topics. So that's AP Lang in a nutshell. And I welcome you and I thank you for making the choice to make a difference through words. See you in August 2020.